Hi, I'm Will Adams, and this is Honey Brook Tools and Woodworks. This is my third video in the series that I'm doing where I walk you through the making of a set of my tools from one block of curly cherry. If you watched the previous videos, the first was on making the winding sticks, and then the second was on turning the marking knife. You'll see how I started with a very large block of curly cherry, and now I'm left with this, this, and this. And today I'm going to be turning one of my Honey Brook Dovetail knives. Before I dive into that, I want to give you a little bit of a heads up to another series of videos that I'm going to be doing pretty soon, focused on woods from Australia. I have recently become a big fan of a lot of woods that are native to Australia. And I like them because for winding sticks, they're very dense, which makes them dimensionally stable and just perfect for that purpose. For turning, I like them just because the figure and the color of the wood is absolutely gorgeous. Just to give you a little bit of a sneak peek, this is a handle that I turned a couple of days ago, a marking knife handle that I turned in ringed gidgee. It's just an absolutely gorgeous figured wood. All of these are in the acacia family. This I turned yesterday. This is a marking knife handle in Yarn, which is really one of my favorites too. It's got a really nice, deep, dark color, and when you look at it in person, it's got some real depth to it. And this is a dovetail knife handle that I did in Brigalow. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail in that right now, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that I'm going to be doing that series. So back to the topic at hand, curly maple, a set of tools in curly maple. So I've got to plan out all the tools that I want to make. I think I'm not going to be able to make a complete set, and by complete I mean all the knives, all the awls, tri-squares, marking gauge, etc. So what I'm going to focus my energy on is completing a set with the winding sticks, which I've already cut out, the marking knife, dovetail knife, a birdcage awl, a scratch awl, and then one each of my specialty screwdrivers. The chip breaker screwdriver, frog screwdriver, and the two kinds of split nut screwdrivers that I make. Oh, and also a plain iron adjusting hammer. I can do that. So with that in mind, I've got these four pieces to choose from. And I need to figure out what the best use of each one of these pieces is. And I'm going to start with this large one for the simple reason that it's got this one side that's got a fair amount of sapwood in it. And I don't want to use that for my handles. Mostly because for this set, I want the grain and the color to be as closely matched as I can. So I know that that's going to be waste. I also know that I need a blank that is about 12 inches long for the plain iron adjusting hammer handle. And this block itself is 14 inches, okay? So I know that I'll be able to get one handle out of that. I also know that these blocks are the right size, thickness, diameter, whatever you want to say. They're the right size for my birdcage awls, scratch awls, and my 3 specialty screwdrivers. So I'm going to set these aside for right now, and I'm going to focus on this piece. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first start by ripping a piece out that I know that I'll be able to use both for the dovetail knife that will be part of this project, plus I'll have some extra for a future turning project, for a future dovetail knife. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rip that off camera. I'm going to move the camera over here, and I'm going to try a new camera angle. I'm going to shoot straight down on the lathe, so you can see from overhead the tools that I'm using and how I'm actually turning it. Like the marking knife video, this is going to have less commentary than the video that I did dedicated to the dovetail knife, where I walked you through all the specifics. And this is more of a sit back and watch the turning process kind of a video. So I'm going to rip this. I'm going to move the camera over there, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my blank chucked up in the lathe. The first step is to drill the hole. I've got my ear protection in. I'm going to put on my dust mask, turn on the dust extractor, and put on my face shield, and we will get going. Okay, so we're back at the bench and we're going to install the blade and the little decorative piece in the tail end of the handle. One thing I meant to mention while I was turning is the tools that I used. I had a comment on one of the previous videos, which actually led to the downward angle with the camera this time. There's a question about which tools I was using. So initially I used the spindle roughing gouge just to turn the blank down to round. And then I used the parting tool to turn it down to the proper diameter for the ferrule. And you may have noticed that I was doing a fair amount of trial and error with that. And the reason for it is I usually, like on all my other tools, I have a sizing tool that I'll show in one of my next videos, but it allows me to turn down to a specific diameter. Unfortunately, it doesn't go small enough for the diameter I need for this ferrule. So there's a little bit of guesswork and trial and error involved in this one. See which one of these I want to use. That will work. Okay. That noise in the background is my heater. The weather in Vermont has been a little bit neurotic lately. It's been in the 30s and 40s, and today it's in the teens. That's not all that unusual, I guess. This file handle is one of the first handles I ever turned. It's got a copper ferrule. I'm a big fan of copper. I really like the way it ages. And on this piece of walnut, I think it's a nice complement to the walnut. Nice. Okay, onto the blade. I can't help but talk. So the painter's tape on the blade is just to protect the blade from when I drive it in. I'll clamp this in the vise, and I don't want the blade to get scratched. And this is just 5-minute epoxy. One thing I do want to do. There have been some times when I haven't drilled the hole deep enough, and that becomes a problem once you go to insert the blade. So I just wanted to double check that. So I'm just going to mix that up with the end of the tang. And then we've got the hole that's left, and I fill that with epoxy, both for the benefit of the security of the blade, and also just aesthetically it looks better than having a gaping hole at the end of your knife. Okay, so that's as done as it's going to be for today. I will let the epoxy sit overnight. It will likely settle a little bit, in which case I'll need to mix up a little bit more and fill it until it's flush. And then it will need some more wax, polish up the brass, and apply hard wax to it, and then it'll be all set. So I think the next tool I'm going to do in this series is probably the birdcage awl. So I'm hoping, I'm on a deadline to get this set completed by next weekend. So I'll be making a fair number of videos this week. And I think next up is going to be the birdcage awl. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please click the like button down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching.